Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the SITREP or the summary for the day of 881 for the 23rd of July. Frontline changes report as usual is already out on the main channel, and if you're watching this, you're on the war channel, DPA war channel, orange logo. So we're gonna continue the reporting. We go into the strategy and tactical reporting for the past day, 23rd. We're currently in the 24th of July. So no things happened, but no, we are doing a review of what happened on the 23rd. So we're going to start off with the Kharkiv front. So over the Kharkiv front, we have let me see. We have fighting reported in the usual places, the usual suspect. We have fighting reported with the Russians at that was a very puny arrow. So the Russians attacking at Klipoke as well as Lipsy. This is usual. So no change in terms of the strategic situation around here. There is some geolocation of Ukrainian forces getting struck in the border region near Veterinarny, as well as over at Shevchenka near Kharkiv. So this Ukrainian forces are defending the border region, so attracting some artillery shelling over the border. So nothing very significant in that sense. Over at the Staritsia sector, Ukrainian forces have made some progress. Ukrainian forces captured some grounds in the center of Staritsia. This confirmed by geolocation and invalidating further of the pro-Russian claims in their mapping. Looks like the Ukrainian mapping is going to be the one that is very accurate in this front line, and the Ukrainians are making progress to recapture Staritsia. So we move on from Staritsia, we go into the Vosychansk sector. At this region, the strategic situation remains the same. Russian forces are on the offensive in the Vosychansk, in the Battle of Vosychansk, whereas they are also exploring attacking Taiki. Ukrainian forces continue to hold the position. The eastern flank attack is not reported. There is no Ukrainian incursion in the eastern part. So that's about it. And over the far reaches, in the very out of place location, there is an attack over at Krugle, or Krugle. I don't know how to pronounce this. Anyway, there was a previous attack on the 17th. It was a one-off. Now on the 23rd, there is another attack again. I wonder if the Russians are going to seriously, attack this corner and actually take some grounds around here, forcing the Ukrainians to react to this operation or this offensive here, and then the Russians can later withdraw after they attract enough attention. There is a possibility to waste fuel and disrupt planning for the Ukrainian side. So this is something to look at, because this is very out of place. So the Russians could just make some nuisance against the Ukrainians. Over the Kupiansk front, at the Kupiansk front in the northern sector, Russian forces attack at Sinkivka, Petropavlivka, and Zagorokivka. So that's about it. Nothing special about here. Over at the Pischany, the lower half, there is geolocation of a Lancet attack on the Ukrainian tank in the middle of nowhere, and then the Russian forces have pretty much confirmed to have captured most of Pischany. Almost all, just left a little bit. If you probably will know if you are watching the frontline changes report. Russian forces is currently attacking in the direction of Klukishka, and they're currently attacking in that direction, but so far not much indications of Russian forces to be in a more advanced position. They could possibly be in this kind of advanced position, but we haven't really seen it yet. But the reports of fighting near Klukishka does have some basis, I guess. Unless you say the Ukrainian Defense Ministry is lying, then they have nothing to say. So over at the Svetove front, in the northern flank of the Svetove front, we have Russian forces attacking in Stemakivka, as well as in the area of Andriivka. So that's about it. Nothing special here. Further south, we have fighting reported in Novoyehorivka. So we haven't seen reports of fighting in Novoyehorivka for some time since 4th of June. And but not, I don't expect much to come out of this, because this is just a one attack over here. In the northern flank of the Crimea front, Russian forces are still battling in the Battle of Makiivka, and they are still pushing towards Nevsky as we speak. So that's about it here. Nothing very significant along these Oskil fronts. In the Crimea front, Russian forces are attacking in the Serbiansky forestry as well as Torske. So yeah, that's it. Over at the Sivers front, the Sivers offensive continues, with Russians attacking at Velkomokanyamsky, Spurny, Vimka, as well as towards Perezny. No more fighting at Rozdolivka, most likely because Russian forces have captured it. The Russian Defense Ministry finally announced the capture of Ivano-Darivka over here. So the capture of this location would complicate Ukrainian strategic situation around Sivers. So we shall see how this going to change things. We move into the Bakhmut front. Bakhmut front is where I mentioned in the yesterday's SITREP that there seems to be a Bakhmut offensive starting. This time around, we have fighting reported at Vasilkivka, Zeleniansky, Orikovo Vasilivka towards what's this place? Novomakrove. There's fighting reported in the Chasivia region, Ivaniski towards Tuposhki, Andrievka, and towards Bilhora. So you can see the entire front line has been activated, particularly over in the northern and the center half. And I think the most significant is the northern half. The northern area here, there is a lot of ground the Russians need to capture to reach the canal region. The Russian forces would have to push through a lot of grounds in order to do all this position. But from Vasilkivka, Brodany region, they could actually storm up to Rai Alexandrivka. This is going to affect the battle in the Sivers front. So that as I mentioned yesterday, but Darny was mentioned yesterday. Today we do not have that. Today we have Vasilkivka. So which makes more sense because this is closer to the front line. And Russian attack over here, Zaliniansky, Orikovo Vasilevka, and towards Novomakove. So you can see the entire northern half is getting a bit fiery. So we shall see how this develops. We still do not have any other people reporting about this. Only the Ukrainian Defense Ministry is mentioning this. So we shall see how this goes. Over at the New York front in the Torex offensive, Russian forces continue to be battling over in the region of Pivnishny towards Torex and in the Zalizny region. No change in terms of the situation around here. Over at the New York sector, there is no fighting reported at New York. What we have is the fighting towards Pentelemenovka as well as towards Alexandropil. So that's about it in the New York front. We move into the northern half or northern flank of the Adievka front. No fighting reported at Kalinove. What we have is Russian attack in the region of Novo Alexandrivka, Vodizenka towards Lozovatsky, towards in the region of Progress, towards Voschev, in the region of Yekhanivka, and the Ukrainian source, Deep State UA, has acknowledged that there is no orders given to the Ukrainian forces defending in all this salient region, and the no orders of withdrawal, and the troops are getting encircled and they are battling in the encirclement. So pretty sad situation if you ask me. You should know, you should remember me saying quite a few times, I don't believe the Ukrainian forces will be here. I believe that the Ukrainian command would order them to withdraw. I was wrong. I can't really cope, I can't really even be positive a little bit about the Ukrainian military. Like, despite all these dark times, like the Russians are really rolling them over. I was thinking that maybe the Ukrainian military would do something right, to get their troops out of danger, out of the encirclements, to fight a better battle. I was wrong. So it is what it is. So Russian forces make progress around Progress region. They conquered the northern part of Voschev. Looks like they're going to swing down very soon. And the Russian forces secured Yekhanivka with this disclaimed by the Ukrainian mapping. So very soon, Voschev will be encircled in two different directions, and the Ukrainian forces would not be able to hold the position much longer. Further south, Novoselivka Persia situation is unfolding exactly as I told you how it would. After the Russians are pushing down in the western part, I believe that they will push west, and indeed they appeared. And in fact, they even captured the entire eastern part and the northeastern part. So the Ukrainians only left with the southern and the southwestern part of Novoselivka Persia, and yeah, it looks like the battle is pretty much going to be over soon. I don't think the Ukrainians can hold this position at all. We're going to see the Russian forces just overrunning them. Let me use a different color. They will just overrun them, in all different directions, and call the GG, GGWP, good game, well played. So, we move on. Over at this central flank, we have Ukrainian Defense Ministry mentioned the Russians attacking in the Umansky and the Yasnobrodivka region. The claim of the capture of Yasnobrodivka by the Russian Defense Ministry on the 9th of July cannot be corroborated even until today. So it's been like 3 weeks. So no, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Disappointing. No. So don't believe the Russian Defense Ministry that much as well. Both defense ministries, take it with a pinch not enough, a bowl of salt, and you'll get kidney problems. So then you need dialysis. Sad times. Over at the Donetsk front, we have fighting reported in the Battle of Krasnohorivka. Russian forces continue the battle here. No updates, which means the next update is going to be rather serious. It's going to be a huge drop. Because of the huge drop over the Masimilivka region, we're not expecting much reports of the fighting around here anymore. We're going to wait a few days. This looks like the new meta over in the Ukraine war, where the information drop or the intel drop for most of the fronts, except for the Adivka front, is going to come every few days. So rather than everyday updates, which is the norm now for the Adivka front, the rest of the front line, it looks like we're going to get serious update only every few days, which means that if the Russians are making progress, every time the information drop is going to be shocking. So over at Konstantinivka, there is fighting reported in this region here, according to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. Not much other things has been mentioned. There's no push towards Vodian being reported, but there's just operational silence. I don't believe it. The Russians are pushing. Over at Prashitivka, Russian forces are attacking Prashitivka. They are also resuming the attack over at Makarivka, and there is a geolocation of a guided missile strike by Russian helicopters on the region of Makarivka. So that shows that the ground forces in Makarivka, or hitting or assaulting Makarivka, is supported by attack helicopters. So that's that. Oh yeah, I think I missed a point. Over at the New York front, there's a Russian Sukhoi 25 got shot down over Novoselivka. So the Russian aircraft flew in this direction. They are firing some rockets, the usual, the unguided rockets towards some targets, and Ukrainians fired surface to air missile, a handheld, a manpad, and it actually hit the Russian plane, and the plane was caught on drone footage to have been destroyed. The pilot managed to eject safely, and it basically dropped into Russian grounds, so he will be saved. But the Russians lost another Cold War era plane that I don't think will be replaced. So anyway, another Sukhoi 35 got shot down. So this geolocated by Crimean Caprice and now have been reported by the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. So that's the situation about this. All these icons that is out of the front line, it's very easy to miss. So we go into the Zaporizhia front. At the Zaporizhia front, actions is primarily in the Orikhiv sector, with Russian forces attacking Novoandreevka and towards Novodanilivka and Malatomashka. So largely in this kind of a situation, hard to tell what's happening around here. I want to say that there's something bigger happening, but there's always no update. So telling you guys something happened, it's like nothing happened. So I will be lying. So nothing is happening over there. They're just no playing PlayStation. Over at the Kherson front, there is no more fighting reported in the beachheads. There's only shelling report over at Tokarivka, according to the Russian Defense Ministry, and that's about it. Then some additional things, since we have we finished quite early today. There is some rumors about the Russian fleet have been entirely relocate probably from Sevastopol all the way to Novorossiysk, or maybe some other port. Most likely is Novorossiysk, because they're actually quite useless. They can't really be used much, especially with the threat of anti-ship missiles, maybe, and also by the threat of surface suicide drones. The Russians felt no point to leave it there. However, the Ukrainians see it as a massive, great victory. How? It have no bearing on the actual fighting in the front. The Russian Black Sea Fleet has not really been involved in the war for almost a year now, I think. They don't even launch much missiles, to be honest, and you don't really need them to launch missiles, because now the Russians have a lot of cruise missiles. They have the ground drones, and then they also now have FABs, the glide bombs, and these glide bombs are devastating. And there's also a lot of Iskandars nowadays, and the drones, these civilian drones are flying so high, and they cannot be shot down by the Ukrainian side. They are seeing everything, and calling in Lancet strikes, calling in Iskandar strikes. The Black Sea Fleet is now useless. So I think this also would trigger the Russians to really rethink about their naval doctrine. Is their Cold War era naval doctrine really still relevant? In this modern day age of war, where surface drones, suicide drones, everything is drones, and massive cruise missile, hypersonic missiles. Would the naval fleet still have a place in the future of warfare? Remains to be seen. In peacetime, naval fleets are fantastic because they are the show of force. They can see them, they're in presence. But of course, in wartime, submarines are more useful because you cannot see them. And so anyway, that's it. So this is the situation report, or the summary for the day of 881 for the 23rd of July. Press the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next update.